Hello, it's Ricardo and welcome back to Farming Simulator 2022. Today we're going to talk about canola, one of the first crops you get to grow when you're starting out in the game. But how do you do it? It's not all that straightforward as just planting things in the ground, letting weather happen and then harvesting your crop. Oh no. So we're going to go through each of the steps so you can get a crop on the go. Yes folks, it's yet another lovely day on the farm. The sun is shining, I have got a field that has been cultivated, it has not yet been fertilised and needs lime. Just so happens I've got a tractor here with a lime spreader, which I'm going to apply a nice coating of lime to this field. No problems. We're going to get in, we're going to hire a worker on the PC by pressing H, and they're going to go across and start spreading lime on this field. Now, lime is one of the important parts of Farming Simulator and treating your fields, and there are many benefits to adding it in regards to yield. So, lime is really a soil conditioner and controls the acidity in the soil. So applying a nice bit of lime before applying your crop is a must. Now, if we look at our calendar now, whilst our worker goes and applies that lime, we can see we can grow canola in the August period. Perhaps the only thing we can grow really crop-wise in the August period other than grass and oilseed radish. Here's our field. It's been limed. You can see in the field info in the bottom right-hand side of the screen, we no longer have to lime this field, and you can see it's coated with that nice white powder, indicative of lime. Great. Next up, we need some fertilizer, and for that we're going to need to get a fertilizer spreading device. Now these are very similar to the lime spreading devices. You may want to just use one device and then unload your lime and then load it up with some fertilizer. I, however, am using the government subsidies mod, which allows to have a little bit of money, so I've gone out and bought myself a swanky grey and black tractor with nice black hubs. Now you can see I've got my Bredel spreader right there. This will take not only lime, but it'll also take fertilizer. I'm going to press R now when close to one of my lime pallets or fertilizer pallets, and you can see my fertilizer increasing in the bottom right hand side as I start to refill. Now a little bit of maneuvering and moving about will allow you to get the other pallets, so you're going to have to drive your tractor close along with the Bredel spreader close to those pallets so you can refill them, and again pressing R starts the refill. Now I'm not going to fill this right the way to the very top, but I am going to put my 3 pallets of fertilizer in the hopper, and then once I've done that and it disappears, it's time to get on back to the field and get that fertilizer coating on over that lime. Our tractor and our Bredel spreader has now arrived at the field that we have just applied lime to, and now we're going to apply a level of fertilizer. Same as before, as we applied lime, it's the same process of applying a solid fertilizer to a field, like what we're going to do today. Line the tractor up on the corner of the field, and you can either drive it yourself if you want that more tactile, hands-on approach, or hire a worker. We've got plenty of other things to do, so we'll be hiring a worker. Now, as you can see, as the fertilizer is applied, it changes from white to a nice, rich, deep brown colour. Now we're going to let that worker continue with his task and come back in just a minute for the next step. So with our worker doing his job, you can see the field is now 50% fertilised. That's good stuff. So we've applied lime, cultivated the field, we've applied lime, and now what we've done is we've applied fertiliser. What we could do now is get our seeder and get seeding our canola on our field. So this is the starting device that we're going to use to seed our field. Again, we're going to line our tractor up to one of the corners, the bottom left hand corner of the field. As per our orientation, we're going to line it all up. Great. And here's the thing about when you're starting off, it won't let you do anything stupid. So by pressing the F1 button on the PC, you can then bring up the help menu for this particular device, and by pressing Y you can select the different plants. Now, if you select something that cannot be sown in this season, for example, soybeans, and you try to hire a worker, it's going to tell you it's the wrong season for this time of work. So, you're giving a little bit of a helping hand. So if you look at the season for canola, we can also look at where we can sell it. Now, Goldcrest Valley and the farmers market will also give it a really good price. Also, as well, you can sell it to things like cereal factories as well. So here we are. We are now going to plant canola. We've selected canola as the planting option of choice, and you can see we're now planting it in lovely, satisfying furrows. So as that planting continues, you can see the difference in the field. Now, you see we've got fertilized 50%, we've got a yield bonus as well. And we've also got our field that's been fertilized by 50%. Now, with the introduction of this new field info feature that gives you more information during update 1.02, we get more information on how to tend to the fields. You can see that we've got some weeds growing as well. Alright, we can't actually see them, but we are given that little information, weed growing, and you need a weeder, and also a bit of rolling. So let's get on and get that done. Now get used to going to the shop, as we're going to Clever Motors in our particular farmland environment. This is where you're going to go to spend quite a bit of money to get the devices to apply treatments to your fields. And we're in the market for a weeder. Now, there are different methods of applying machinery to weeds in Farming Simulator 2022. We're going to use this Pneumatic Star 900. It's quite cheap, and we're also going to get a little tractor or a medium-sized tractor by which to pull it. Now, I usually go for wheel weights on this as well, but you haven't really got to. I'm just trying to get rid of some of this money from this government subsidy. Once you've got your tractor and you've done your modifications and you've bought it, it'll be ready to pick up in the parking lot of the shop. And then you can attach your device to it. So here we are. Here is our brand new tractor. We're going to go and hook that up to our weeder, a very tactile weeder. That's going to pull small weeds out of the soil. After a little bit of toing and froing, left and right, backwards and forwards, you can connect up your weeding machine and then get yourself back to the field to start weeding that field. So here we are back at our field. You can see it needs weeding. We've got our weeder on the back of our tractor. It also needs rolling, and that'll be the next step. So great, into the tractor and let's get weeding. We'll hire a worker for this. Pressing H again hires a worker. The weeder then unfurls or deploys its arms and starts weeding. This will weed the entire field. Thank you very much. And you can see, right, we've got weeder, weed growing. And after a short period of time, you'll see those weeds will disappear. One of the next things we need to do is rollering, and for that we're going to need a power roll device. I'm going to go for the Power Roll 1230 HD. It's quite cheap, £41,000 in Farming Simulator. Go for the standard wheel brand and setup, it makes no difference. And then we're also going to need a tractor by which to pull it. Now, why do farmers roll? Fields may benefit from rolling when it's essential to push down stones which may have damaged machinery or create a better plant-soil contact in puffy soils after frost heave or bad poaching. So with rolling, you're compacting the top 3 to 4 inches of the soil down, and that means that grass growth and weed growth can be suppressed between 50 and 50%. This is what it says on the internet, so a good bit of rolling is worthwhile. Now, rollering a field is your choice. At this point in the game, to roller a field is purely your choice. Do you want to go and spend the money to rent or buy the machinery? It does, however, increase your yield. And as you can see, as the roller is going across the field, you can see we're going from needing rolling to the point where it's been rolled as to we have met the criteria of the field. So we're still 50% fertilized, we've got a 75% yield bonus, and then we're ready, once it's finished rolling, to move on to the next steps. The next steps are going to be applying additional lime to the surface, and then, once you've applied that lime, a bit more solid fertilizer, and you can do that by applying lime on top of this rolled state without going to the next growing cycle. Now, we're not going to labour the point. You've seen how to apply lime and to apply fertilizer, and once it's been done you can see what sort of yield you'll get from your field. So here's the field growing canola. We're growing because it is August. We've got a yield bonus from rollering, or applying lime, applying fertilizer, planting our seeds, rollering, weeding, and you can see our yield bonus is way up there at 98%, and we're 100% fertilized. Now we wait until the harvest season, which is going to be next July. Here is a canola field in harvest season. It's been fertilized, limed and treated, with the exception of rollering, and you can see its yield is 95%, as opposed to the other field where we applied all the same treatments, lime, fertilizer, rolling, weeding, and that's got a yield bonus of an extra 3%, giving it 98%. So it is worthwhile giving it a bit of a rolling to get that extra bit of percentage as well. It's not really a necessity this point in the game. But here comes the fun bit. It's time to get the old combine harvester out, get your worker hired to get all that lovely canola harvested into that combine harvester and ready to take it off to market. So in essence, that has been how to grow canola from step 1, a cultivated field, applying lime, applying fertilizer, sowing your seeds, doing a bit of weeding, doing some rollering, applying more lime, applying more fertilizer, and then waiting for time to do its thing, for weather to happen and these crops to grow. Then all that's left to do is to get it all loaded up onto your trusty trailer and take it off to your selling point or production point of choice. We're going to take it to the farmer's market. It's nice and easy. There's all my canola in the back of my trailer, over the grid, press the I button, and then you can then exchange your harvest for some much needed money. Anyway, I've been Ricardo. Thanks very much for watching this in-depth video on how to grow canola in Farming Simulator 2022. Hope you've enjoyed it. Check back for more videos in the series on Farming Simulator and other games. I'll see you soon.